Goldwater, nothing to declare.
Yeah, I have nothing to declare.
She's got nothing to declare.
Nothing to declare. I don't have anything in my purse. Then I just leftover sandwich as I rush over to go in the studio today.
So, but the sandwich, you need to declare that.
Do I need to?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I just got in the elevator and I already know that you're already here because I smelled you from the elevator.
You smelled me?
Yeah, your smell lingered on the elevator.
Was it stinky or is it my deodorant or what?
I don't know. Do you want me to?
No, you're telling me that I smell.
Yeah, you smell. Your
bad?
Smell. No, it's not bad.
Okay.
But I know it's you.
Okay. So is it the deodorant or is it
Maybe
just?
the deodorant.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, he's here.
So you could track me in
I
the.
could track you with your smell.
If
I
I
could
ran
track
out.
everybody with
If
their
I
smell.
ran down. Okay, so that's good to know.
Not
you
to
can.
mention
I'm not
that-
the only one.
Oh, what's that? You're not the only one.
Okay,
I could
good.
Because
Because normally.
The elevator too. I
Okay.
could smell Jim.
Well, we ought to take you hunting.
What? Just to hunt animals?
Yeah.
Because
that's what.
Animals and shoot animals. Animals.
You can't. You don't like to do that.
I would like to do.
Oh,
that.
you want to go kill stuff?
Only animals.
Yeah, not humans.
Oh no, forget it. I don't. I just want to hunt them, but I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, that'd be awesome if you could track like pheasant and quail and.
I've seen some photos on Facebook last week of people killing polar bear and grizzly bears just for hunting. They're not even in the middle of. Sorry about that robot. We have a robot here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that really don't like they're. I don't know. They have ethical issues about
Yeah, I
hunting.
forgot his name. That guy, he's like killed the bear. Killed the bear somewhere for fun.
Oh yeah,
It's not even in the middle of harm.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you can go and I mean, there's a certain number of bear tags that because there's an overpopulation of bear in Colorado especially. So there's
Bear Cub County.
I'm sorry.
Like there's a place there where it's named after like Bear County.
Oh, there's all sorts
of. That doesn't sound good.
There's like Beartooth Pass and bear everything in Colorado, Montana, Wyoming, that whole area, Idaho. There's bears everywhere. Yeah, I mean, I was where I lived. I was out so far Colorado. It would be just be working away on the computer, and there's a window right here, and you look up, and there's a bear.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah. There are bears all over the place.
What do you do? Just ignore?
You don't. They don't. You just ignore it. You don't want to, you know. The other thing, you don't want to bring it to the attention of your dogs.
Oh.
Because yeah, my smaller dog, she had no fear, and she'd go after a bear.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Even she's tiny.
Oh, she just had no clue. I'd see her go after elk, which are these huge, big deer with big antlers, and she got in a fight with an elk.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a crazy dog. But yeah, you typically don't want your dogs messing with them. You don't want to feed them. That's never a good thing. You don't feed the bears.
Yeah, because they will come back.
Yeah, and it's just it's bad news. House. Yeah, it's bad news.
And in recent news, in Hong Kong right now, they're like having a massive invasion of wild boars.
Oh yeah.
Like the wild pigs are like coming into the city and just being, just rowdy, and the pigs are not really afraid of getting near with the humans anymore because the humans are feeding them.
Oh man.
So they will go down the mountains and go to the city, and right now they're like having problems with them.
Yeah, that's a good reason you need to go out and hunt them. I mean, wild boar is good
Wild
meat.
boars,
Like if you,
they're like basically pigs.
yeah,
And
and the,
probably more healthy because they eat grass.
yeah, I mean it's good meat.
Hmm.
Especially it's really good to make sausage out of.
Sausage,
Wild
yeah.
boar sausage.
I never had a very good meatloaf, or I can't remember.
Meatloaf,
Yeah,
really? Are you a
there's a
fan?
store you brought me in this particular store around here, and then you asked me to get the meatloaf because you said it's you don't remember because you said it's
A
good.
store?
Yeah,
Or you
a
mean a restaurant?
restaurant, a
Oh, okay.
restaurant. And then I came back to that restaurant because I did like the taste of the meatloaf. And then I went back and then I want to order the same meatloaf, but then they said it's not available anymore. And there's a comment, there's a like papers on the table where you can write your comment. And then
oh,
I told them I go here for the meatloaf.
you
Please
bastards.
bring it back.
Meatloaf Nazis.
Yeah, meatloaf Nazis.
Yeah. Oh, well, speaking of wild boars, you know where they've got a serious overpopulation of all
Yeah.
places is Chernobyl, where they had the nuclear meltdown in Russia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So all the humans are gone. They're still gone. You're not gonna. Humans can't live there for another, I don't know, hundreds of years. And despite the radiation levels, which are still really bad, the whole place is taken over by wild boars, and actually all
That's
sorts
the
of
good place to hunt.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if you'd want to eat it because
I
they're
don't want to eat it.
radioactive
Yeah, I don't want
pigs.
to eat it.
You know, you want. I know that you can go there, you can visit, and apparently the place is like it's kind of a ghost town.
And it's cold.
Because you had
It's Russia, right?
thousands of people, yeah, that lived and worked at the nuclear power plant, and they all had to leave within minutes. And so everybody left without. So now you can go into these apartment buildings and look around, and
That's in Russia, right?
yeah, and so yeah, it's apparently they take you on tours, but you can only spend a couple of hours there because of the radiation. It's not like you want to sleep overnight there.
Wow, I look like I just woke up in the video. But I do have makeup, right? I do
Yeah,
have
no,
makeup.
you look good.
Yeah.
I literally just woke up.
He just literally just woke up and he's like, "Why am I here?"
I know. It's so bad.
So bad.
Yeah, it's one of those days. It's just
So
having to work all
anyway,
night.
what's happening?
Yeah, let's say I can barely get online here. That's my issue.
Do you want to use my? Oh, no, I just want to look at our website.
Yeah, we've got a couple of really interesting articles. A few things tied in
This
this
is
week.
just yeah. Go on.
Well, you had these. You've got this guy Smollett, right?
Josh.
Right.
Jesse
Smollett, yeah, who is this, you know, there's so much there, but Phil did a really interesting article on it. I mean, just looking at the logistics, like, so it was it's an article, if you'll see it at thegoldwater.com, where he's just running the numbers about just the feasibility of what happened at what time. Okay, so the guy's at a Subway sandwich store at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. The temperature at that time is below freezing. Okay, so way below freezing.
Phil is talking about this last week too.
Yeah, and so there's only a certain amount of you know, there's only a certain amount of time where you can actually have this at that temperature before it gets frozen.
Really?
Like
I would
liquid,
want to try
you know.
that.
It's only, I mean, it's like taking this and putting it in the freezer. If you come back in an hour, it'll be frozen. But if it's really cold, this could freeze in 10 minutes or 5 minutes. So if you've got super sub-zero temperatures, which it was at that point, the feasibility of somebody being able to pour a liquid on him, and he claims it was bleach would have been frozen.
Yeah,
you know.
in that temperature.
Okay, so this guy, he gets beat up, and then he shows up at his house and this with a rope around his neck. Okay, and he's holding a sandwich, by the way. So he this whole time that he gets beat up, he goes in the subway, gets his sandwich, he comes out, he gets beat up, right? And apparently people were chanting "Make America Great." You blank 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 really bad stuff having to do with being a homosexual and also
Yeah.
being black. So none of this really makes sense because first of all, why would you keep a noose around your neck, and walk to your apartment building
With a rope.
with a rope around your neck?
Yeah.
I mean, if I was a black person and somebody put a rope around my neck, I'm not going to keep it there. You're going to throw it away. You're going to just get rid of it. You're not going to keep it around your neck. And if you're even thinking, if you just got the crap beat out of you and you're thinking, well, maybe this is evidence, you're going to keep it like in your hand or something,
Yeah,
but you're not going to have it around your neck. So I think this guy was on, and the Chicago Police Department are talking about how they don't, you can tell that they don't believe him. They're analyzing where the rope came from, and they can tell. They'll find.
And he said he don't even want to go to the police to report.
Yeah, and his manager who happens to be there at 3:00 in the morning, which is a little weird as well. Was there physically there. Now I don't know if these guys live together or what the deal is, but like, why is the manager there at that time? That's weird. The story is changing back and forth. And the feasibility of like these guys just waiting around because they knew he was on the show.
Yeah, it happens on January 29th. So before even the New Year, yeah.
It was within, like, we saw the first report, and Phil brought it to my attention, and we both looked at it and got like the 2 sentences into the description, and we both typed at the same time. It's like, wait a minute, what?
He didn't turn over his phone to the police.
Yeah,
to,
exactly.
check if he's talking to his manager.
He was supposed to be talking to his manager at the time, right? And that's another weird thing. So why is the manager at his home? Why would you be calling him at the time? Like, you're going back to your apartment where the guy is anyway. Why would you be on the phone? There's so much. And if he was indeed on the phone, then why didn't the manager call 911 if he heard the attack?
Yeah.
Now the description is the manager convinced him to call 911.
Where did the bleach go in his body?
Yeah, they said it was poured over his chest, and they're analyzing his clothes for, I just don't buy it.
Okay.
I don't. None of it really makes any sense at all. To me, it sounds like that. Remember, this was like a couple years ago. This PGA golfer was he was on a tour, and he was in Hawaii. And the story comes out in the morning, like how this guy got kidnapped and thrown into a trunk of a car and, taken on, and he brings out this fantastic story about like how somebody kidnapped him and drove him around all night in a trunk of a car, and then they decided to release him. And so you hear the description and you're just like, wait a minute, what? That makes no sense, you can tell just by the words he's using. You can tell. And sure enough, a couple of people, I remember commenting like, there's something wrong with this, there's something wrong. And so finally this fantastic story breaks down, and it turns out that this guy just got drunk and went on a runner with this girl and ended up sleeping with this girl and didn't want his wife to know about it. And so now the whole world thinks he's been kidnapped, and he really painted himself into a corner. And he came out and said, yeah, I'm sorry, I lied, I apologized, and this is why.
Because I slept with another woman.
Yeah, but he was probably still drunk when he made up the kidnapping story. Because now you got the cops involved, and kidnapping is an FBI, so the FBI was involved, and he's a celebrity, so Now his sponsorship is on. I mean, it's a costly night for that guy. It was really stupid. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, this is like one of the things actors or actresses will do in order to get attention.
Yeah, I think.
Other than that, leaking some nude photos and
Yeah,
scandals
having
or
them leaked.
yeah, having them leaked.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's very fishy, but
Yeah, very fishy.
you know, it certainly wasn't very well thought out. If they were,
Yeah,
if
people.
that's these guys aren't very smart at all. If that was their plan
Yeah.
to do this, yeah,
He
because
didn't.
I didn't know who the guy was.
I don't even know who the guy was.
I mean, before
And he's
I don't watch TV, but
homo.
well, he's gay, black gay
gay.
guy.
Not gay.
But then you had, there's a number of things that are going on with that. So I finally got online. That's good.
Congrats.
I don't know. I'm still waking up.
It's still waking up.
So yeah, and so this is what we were looking at, and so the
Hollywood politicians, what hypocrisy.
Yeah, and so Ed Buck, remember him? He's this white guy in Hollywood he's gay.
Oh, he's gay?
Yeah, and he likes what he's into is he brings black guys back to his house and he drugs them and rapes them.
Ooh,
and then,
no, you don't do that.
And then he also gets off on having them overdose themselves. 2 people have died in his apartment.
That guy.
In his apartment, 2 people have died, and God knows how many else. And this is in Hollywood, right? And he's a big Democrat donor. So. And so the police are kind of ignored these black guys that are dying, and the black community, because he's a Democrat donor and he's getting special treatment and has been. So this if he was arrested the first time, there's a chance he'd be in prison, and the second kid wouldn't have died.
Yeah.
So because it was overlooked.
And most of the victims are black guys?
They're all black.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what he's into. And he
probably hates.
He basically wants them to overdose.
Yeah.
It's a sick fetish. So he gets them he drugs them to the point of almost overdosing, rapes them, and then they end up dying.
Oh, he's part Jewish too.
Yeah, that never hurts in a situation like that, being, in Hollywood or LA. Being a Democrat donor and a Jew, and sounds like you can get away with anything there. So what's funny is that it's situations like that really make blacks hate Democrats, because nobody is saying anything about it. They're letting this guy literally get away with murder.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. I mean, to me, it's not an accidental overdose. If
he's doing it for his, as what you said.
Yeah, he gets off on people overdosing.
How to get away with murder.
Yeah.
I've seen this Chinese oh my God, I've seen these memes on, there's this Chinese girl who's really, really good in putting makeup. Like, she really transformed herself to the point that you won't even recognize, like, her natural face.
Okay.
So they memed it like, how to get away with murder.
Oh.
Anyway, it's just funny.
No, there's a real art to that.
Yeah, they're like putting tapes in this area of their face to kind of imitate that their face is really thin. I've never known that, but anyway.
I think I'm long past that. There's no hope for me.
No hope for you.
Well, the big shocker here is this Melinda Smith, Mercedes Carrera. You probably remember her. She was in the Gamergate thing, one of the women that was in the whole Gamergate thing a while back. 2015, 2014, during that whole time. And
Mercedes.
Some real sicko stuff. She's molesting kids, got arrested for it. Her and her husband / manager.
This girl. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was interesting because Phil noted that who was it she did films for? She did Brazzers, the porn company. And so I thought it was interesting that once she got busted for this, Brazzers took down all of her
Oh, a porn star.
stuff. Yeah, which I thought was really interesting because porn people are kind of more obviously they're free speech, but and to think about it, they're going to have more traffic to their site because of this. People are going to,
Is this her?
Yeah, that's her.
Well, she looks very.
Doesn't she look guilty as hell in that? Doesn't she look guilty?
She looks like she's overwhelmed with I don't know.
She looks like she's busted.
And she looks like taking meth or something.
Yeah, I mean, but she looks definitely guilty. Like, oh man.
Yeah. So the couple pled not guilty regarding the 8 counts of sexual acts with a child under 10. According to detectives investigating the case, their Rancho Cucamonga apartment bedroom was outfitted like a film studio with kids. Yeah, sick. So, but Brazzers pulled all of her video, and if you think about it, that's that's a good decision because they would have, they certainly would have had traffic there because if you see the name of porn star, then you're gonna go different. Yeah, they were gonna go check her stuff.
Yeah, so I think it's
a
good thing.
It's a clear indication that they are, disgraced.
Oh yeah, you don't want any part of any people like that. These people, they're screwed.
Yeah, they're screwed.
They're screwed. You go to prison for something like that, especially like little kids. Oh man,
little kids.
And there's no way.
Stay away from kids.
Yeah, the dude is gone. I don't know what they do to the women, but anyway, that's some weird stuff. So
what's happening in Drudge?
Yeah, I was just going through. Looks like there's a budget deal.
About the wall?
No, it's sure.
Crazy. I was watching some clips on like the southern border and the crisis over people trying to cross that border. So this group of guys, the video was in 2012. So they put something like they're trying to cross their car in the fence, and they put something like a support to let the car drove higher, and then.
Are you serious? A bridge over the.
And the bridge. They're driving
oh my
like
God.
an SUV full of probably drugs, and then so they got into the what do you call it, the wall, the steel wall, and then they can't.
Oh, they got high centered. So.
Yeah, and then they got caught. So their car got stuck.
Funny.
And they got apprehended by the border patrol.
Their truck is on the top of the fence now?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They didn't try it once. Other group did the same thing, but they didn't.
That's crazy.
Succeeded. It's crazy.
Yeah, they've got.
They dug a hole.
They've got. They've been catapulting, like in trebuchet drugs. I don't know. It'd be interesting if they were doing people. Like person.
They can try. There's like tons of crazy adrenaline junkies trying to do those kind of things, but they need to land in the water.
Yeah, there's no water out there.
Yeah, sand.
It's all sand and sagebrush and rattlesnakes.
But they can take a fortune. Maybe they can land and just broke one arm.
Yeah.
And still be alive.
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
If you have like.
I'm just kidding.
you want to keep them pretty low.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a chance you could catapult and not die. But then again, you'd be on the other side of the fence, all screwed up. Yeah. Somebody's gonna have to carry you, most likely.
There's a high chances for girls to actually cross the border not doing anything crazy like putting a bridge on the car, they can just talk to the border patrol. You know what I mean?
Oh, talk your way into the border.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure. I'm sure there's a way. You know, there's probably border agents that. Yeah.
we've got like a news, I think, few years ago where this van crossed came from Mexico, went to the United States, and then there's tons of people died suffocating inside the truck.
Oh God, yeah.
But come think of it, they passed the the what do you call that, the gate.
No,
So what did the guard do? Not checking the
well, they
thing?
can't check everything. You know.
Why is that?
It's just, I mean, there's way too much traffic, so they just do profiling. So it's like,
They can't really go and, hey, I'm gonna open the car.
Oh, they can. I mean, but they can't open. They don't have time to open every single truck and X-ray everything. So what they do is when you get to the border, they look at you and they get a sense of like, hey, what's is this? Because they find it's an art really to spot. Oh yeah, I mean it is to spot how people are. They do it in casinos as well to spot cheats.
Yeah.
You're always on the lookout for odd behavior. So these guys are masters at it, or should be. And they're good. They profile, but they can't check everything. So it's basically like they only get maybe 10 to 20% of the stuff coming through. So it's a numbers game with those guys. They expect to lose loads of drugs and loads of people.
Yeah, but we don't hear the same news for like a while now. So I think that's good as well.
Yeah, I mean you do hear
they don't get caught.
And what was it? There was this was like last year. There was a Suburban packed full of Mexicans. There were like 15 Mexicans in this big SUV, and the cops lit him up, and the guy freaked out. The coyote is driving.
Really? Oh my God.
And he freaked out, went on a high-speed chase, and they crashed, and I don't know, like I think it was like 6 out of the 12 people died.
Yeah.
And then of course those trucks that are packed full of people. Terrible stuff.
Yeah, I mean, terrible stuff.
Yeah, I mean this concept of human smuggling. Now, if people are going to do it on their own, there's a risk to all of it. But I think when you get to the point where what's really sad is what's happening in Europe, because a lot of these women, you got situations where women are being abducted.
Is it in Sweden?
Sweden,
Sweden has like a higher percentage of rape case.
Yeah, I mean Sweden is not helping with the situation by having by saying that we welcome all of these people, and so the minute that happens, you're giving them a reason to break the law, a reason to put themselves and their families at peril. And instead of it being the Mexican desert where you're going to starve to death or not starve, you're going to die of thirst. Instead of the desert, it's the Mediterranean Ocean, where your boat's going to sink or somebody's just going to throw you overboard. There was a case where they found a boat full of women. Ooh. Remember that? It was like 12, 13 women that were all young females, and they were just set adrift. And they all died, all of them.
We're trying to, migrate.
Well, yeah.
The boat?
What they think happened was that they were on another boat that was supposed to be going over, and these women, they were all young girls, and what they think happened
Where do they going to,
They were going probably through Greece, going to Greece. So they're coming from northern Africa.
Yeah, but they're like super young.
Oh yeah, and so the thought is that they were slaves. They were sex slaves.
Yeah.
That were and
they are going to traffic them.
and the guy got worried, or the person who on the other end didn't pay, and so he didn't want to deal with them, so he just set them adrift, and they're all dead. You know. Yeah, I mean, just some of the sickest people. So when Sweden and Germany and France and even Switzerland says, "Oh, we welcome refugees," that's the type of stuff that happens. And you're funding these operations that are sick. These people are human traffickers, and don't think for a minute that there aren't drugs on those boats. You know, I don't know. It's a terrible thing.
How can they stop people trying to, go to Europe?
First, you turn them back. Okay, you tell them you don't welcome them.
You don't welcome them. You scare them.
You send them back to where they came from immediately.
You scare.
Second, you patrol the area, and when you catch somebody smuggling, again, you take them back where they came from, and then you take the boat out, you blow it up. You sink it.
Yeah,
you use it for a marine
drill. So they
drill.
they won't have any means to cross the ocean.
And then you find out who owned it and track him down and track down every single person he does business with, and you arrest them because those guys are absolutely terrible. And then you keep an eye out for anyone that may want to replace him, and you shoot him. Okay.
You shoot him.
I mean, it's Northern Africa.
You arrest.
They're killing thousands of people. I mean, and they need to be stopped. It's terrible what they're doing, and it's all in the name of peace. And then you've got these people who are just, oh, well, we're part of the Operation Marine Rescue, Refugee Rescue. And those boats are out there. These guys are spending millions of dollars. And instead of out there patrolling, they're out there giving these people, rescuing what they're saying, rescuing these people. But what they're doing is they're aiding and abetting a smuggling operation.
Yeah.
All under the guise of saving refugees. It's complete nonsense.
Yeah.
So yeah, this whole
we
border
don't have people migrating in the Philippines illegally, like in the ocean.
You do have.
But we do have some terrorist attack, I think.
Yeah,
South past 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, there's been been some stuff going on there, which isn't good. But
anyway.
There's such a bummer we can't. There's so much interesting stuff to talk about.
My brother keeps, just gonna text me, saying, "Hey, don't go to the mall. There's a bomb threat." Oh, really? Didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. But most of that's down south.
Yeah, so. But we don't have too much of that.
Well, you don't worry. I mean, I haven't really been to the bad neighborhoods. I've kind of driven through accidentally some. Here.
Really?
Yeah.
Your personal, what do you call that? My mind got stopped. Adventure.
Yeah, I just haven't been around into the bad neighborhoods here. So, and I know they do exist.
They do.
But I can tell you here. I wouldn't, for example, it's perfectly safe to walk around at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's when I'm working. That's like,
Yeah.
And that's, when I kind of take my afternoon walk.
Your afternoon walk.
Yeah, and it's great, especially now. It's nice and cool, and there's nobody.
Oh, it's gonna be summer in a month.
I know. Did you notice it was just what was the day before yesterday? It was just hot all of a sudden, and I'm like, no.
And then this morning it's kind of gloomy. Yeah. Anyway,
but
it's gonna be hotter.
Yeah, you can't do that. If I wouldn't suggest, like, if you were in San Francisco and you said, I want to take a walk, and it was, even. Right now, even during the day, in certain areas, I would insist probably somebody go with you. Chances of you getting assaulted are really high, really high. And that's a city in the United States. In your mind, it's a great place.
Yeah.
And all of this. And it's not. Trust me.
I'm gonna get assaulted and.
Yeah, I talked to Redfoot just the other day.
Yeah.
In fact, he called last night, and hopefully he's gets kind of back on his feet. And
Is he back on the show too?
Yeah, he has been, but he wasn't last week, so it's kind of on and off. He really just
having anxiety.
Yeah,
Probably
he's.
still
I mean, what happened
adjusting.
to him was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they really broke him down, and of course you're worried about going back. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they really did a number on him. I mean, they really screwed him up. But you know, it's just something that he's going to have to get through, and we're helping him. But yeah, he was telling me that it's just like, just made a comment. He said, "Man, the city is getting it's even worse and worse and worse." I mean, we talked about it. We saw each other just in December, so not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, just even the last 2 months, it's just
awful.
It's just gone way off. I mean, just it's everywhere.
I can't imagine myself being in a prison.
Oh, in prison?
Yeah.
Oh no.
And in the Philippines.
Oh man, I've seen pictures of that, and it's basically a bunch of arms coming out of the cell. Oh, gee.
Yeah, but like there's like clogged, like tons of people in one cell, and they're like getting infested and getting sick. Some of them die.
Yeah, I've heard that.
It's really sad.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't want anything to do with prison around here. I mean,
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I hope he's gonna feel better soon.
Yeah, he'll pull through. It's gonna take a little while. It just needs. It's one of those deals where he's just takes a while to recover, and he still has nonsense that he has to go to.
Why am I watching? Oh yeah.
So, but nonetheless, so anyways, the state of San Francisco is getting worse, and
tons of Filipinos.
There are quite a few. There's a lot of Brazilians there.
Really?
Yeah.
Brazilians too?
Mm-hmm. What the hell is this?
From South America.
Some sort of bug. Yeah, what's going on?
There's a bug.
I know.
That's my pet. Don't kill it.
Uh-oh. Well.
Hold on. You need to have no, I want to use my weapon, aka my shoes.
Yeah, there you go. So we've got, I mean, this is kind of crazy. It looks like if they're reaching a deal on the budget, that's good, but they're probably not getting anywhere on the wall. And one thing they do need to remember is that if he declares that that this is a crisis, and he keeps talking about it being a national emergency, yeah.
Is it still government shutdown?
No, they lifted the shutdown, but it's going to be reconsidered. So I'm assuming this budget deal is being reached right now, so it doesn't get shut down again. But what's going to happen is that he will declare that that the border situation is and these groups of people can be declared a clear and present danger to the sovereign power of the United States. And in that particular case, the president can order the military to fix the problem. And if the problem is building a wall,
it's gonna be under dictatorship.
Well, no, I mean, if he has the military, which he can use, the military has a branch called the Army Corps of Engineers, and they build dams and bridges and tunnels and do all sorts of stuff, levees. And so they can certainly build a wall.
How much does he need? $20 billion in order to build the wall?
I think
the southern
it depends on how much he was asking for. I think it was like, it got down to like 10 or 15. I'm not sure what the last number he wanted was. And it depends on certain areas.
I thought he's gonna let Mexico pay for the wall.
Yeah, I mean, that was something that he probably shouldn't have been saying, because now there's a couple of options on the table. See, when he was saying that, he was talking about NAFTA. So he was talking about restructuring NAFTA to our advantage to pay for the wall. But one thing that I think is really interesting, and Giuliani is on board with this one as well,
yeah.
is the oh wow, why is his name escaping me? The big drug lord that they just caught.
Wait,
My lord,
El Chapo.
El Chapo, yeah. So El Chapo's got a few billion that we've seized, but we haven't taken it. We should just take it.
We should just take it.
Yeah, take it and use it for the wall.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing too is I think that Mr. Rowe was talking about it the other day on the story behind the story. He hopped in and said, "Hey, there should be like a kind of like a transitory town, like a no man's land, or it's technically in the United States, but it's where people can cross in, and it's like a city where you can have a job."
Yeah.
And there be certain industries and factories in the area, in the city, and it'll be walled off. Okay, it'll be totally secure. It'll be nudged up against the border, and you have factories move in there, and you build a city, and the Mexicans can come and go out of there, and it's fine. And that's where it'll integrate you into American culture. People will be speaking English. You can there'll be an immigration office there, so that it's a legal place to have a job, technically live in the United States, but you're not out. You're not technically in the U.S. So and obviously it's a good place to figure out if people are going to commit crime.
Yeah.
So you boot
this
them
is
out.
different from Sanctuary City, right?
Oh yeah, this would be like a totally transitory thing. But then I was asking him, I said, well, so could Americans open businesses in there? Because that would be interesting. So I don't know. I mean, the thought of it, like, would gambling or prostitution be legal or not? How would the police force work? But it's an interesting idea. I think we should try everything from paying them to go away. Okay, I mean, that's an option.
Don't ever come back.
You can shoot at them.
Here's your money.
You can shoot them. You can have chupacabra. You can scare them with all sorts of demons and ghosts and things like that.
Oh, speaking of demons and ghosts, there's a news I've just seen in Facebook earlier. It's going to be Valentine's on Thursday.
Oh yeah.
And there's tons of girls going to this particular place where they're like buying love potions. And I thought it's super hilarious.
So is it a love potion that you're going to spike in someone's drink?
Yeah, so they will have Valentine date.
So, but it's something that you put in a guy's drink?
And some other stuff that they can use in order to get a guy's attention and fall in love with them.
Is it? Okay, so it's not a novelty. They actually believe this. They actually believe that, and people are making money off of this.
Yeah, people are making money out of it.
Wow.
Anyway, it's just, I think, dark. For me, it's super dark, and
well, it's kind of a little desperate, I think.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Desperate.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Well, you know what? I kind of feel
how about you give the Mexican people something like a potion to tell them, go back to your country. Your country is great. Your country is great. Fall in love to your country.
Well, I can actually see something like that, because there are, I think everyone who comes here is completely astounded in the Philippines by there's just so many beautiful women. And you think about, like,
for guys.
You think about, it's got to be pretty rough on girls to get guys, because there's so many. There's just this.
There's so many girls in the Philippines.
So, oh yeah, there's so many beautiful women. So if you're hot, there's going to be like 5 other women who are hot right next to
hotter
you,
than
and
you. Yeah.
so in the
Now
U.S.,
the
if you're,
competition is hard.
yeah, I would say so.
Way
I
too
mean,
hard.
definitely, you know.
Mm.
So I mean, in the U.S., you'd have no problem whatsoever
Yeah.
getting any guy you wanted, because I don't
And
know,
some
but
of the girls in the Philippines have the what do you call that? The white fever, where
oh yeah,
it's their choice to, you know, to just date white guys.
that's great, excellent, keep it up. Should be more of it.
My
Well, there
mom
is
is
kind of a
trouble.
fascination with the white skin, the lightning. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
can't buy soap here without whitening in it.
Oh
All
yeah,
of the
that thing.
billboards,
Yeah,
everybody's like Filipino, but they're white
I
on the
think
billboards.
so. Yeah. Maybe that's one of the cause why I'm getting super what do you call it, dry skin, because I couldn't buy a soap that doesn't have whitening on it.
Yeah, no, you
Unless
have to
it's
go
a
to like
baby soap.
yeah, you have to go to like a specialty store or like a one of these boutique shops that you
Mm-hmm.
like over at Mega Mall or I don't know,
Mega
like
Mall or like the Body Shop.
yeah, Body Shop
Mm-hmm.
or a place where you buy candles and that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you go in and buy regular soap, it's like everything has whitening. And Watson's,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
go to Watson's and buy
Watson's.
any kind of soap, it's whitening
It's whitening.
or body wash
Yeah.
for that matter.
It has
Everything.
something. There's this
Lotion. All your lotion has whitening in it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So crazy.
That's why my skin is dry.
Huh. Well, it's kind of like sugar. Everything has sugar in it. Here,
Everything has sugar in it.
Yeah.
Have you tried the pasta Filipino?
Oh, jeez.
It's just sweet.
Man.
Try
It's
to
like
go to Jollibee
molasses.
later.
Oh no,
It's just
I
sweet.
did. I've tried that. It's like dessert or something.
Yeah,
but
when I cook pasta, I don't buy the Filipino style.
I have to make my own sauce because even the regular sauce here is super sweet.
Yeah.
I've seen some sauce that the jars that are actually from the U.S., but they're terribly expensive. They're really expensive.
Yeah.
The Koreans are selling that over.
Korean invasion in the Philippines.
Oh yeah.
But for some reason I like the Korean food, so.
The food is okay. Sometimes the people can be a little standoffish, a little bit rude, kind of swindly.
Korean?
Yeah, there was a Korean store at the base of my building there.
Oh, there's
you know that place?
There's a new one. Wait.
Well,
no, the restaurant? Oh, the store. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the bigger store.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple of them in there, but that big store got bought out by another Korean place. But the people who owned it before, they were really shifty. Like they shortchanged me a couple times, and then they were not giving out receipts, which is illegal here. And then at one point, when I asked for a receipt, they said, "Oh well, we made a mistake," so they're overcharging you for all of their stuff. But anyway, they're a lot. The guy who owns it now is really good.
Yeah.
But they sell all sorts of stuff. But I find it interesting that it's really expensive, but some of it is.
Oh, some of it is.
Yeah,
expensive.
But the reason for it is because nobody can. It's basically for Koreans who can't read English.
Really?
Yeah. If
I
you
like
think
their
about it,
samgyeopsal a lot, like the grilled everything. They grill pork, beef, chicken.
Where is this?
It's just it's a dish where you can see in any Korean restaurant.
Oh, okay.
But I went to this particular restaurant last week in BGC in SM Aura. I forgot the name, but it was really good.
They have a lot of really good food. I mean, Korean food is, and there's different types of food. I'm addicted to this barley tea. Have you tried this stuff?
I think I've tried barley.
Remember when I was sick? I was sick a while back, and I was having trouble with my voice, and it took me about a week.
November? I know December.
Yeah, I think December. Yeah, it was that stuff brought me back. It was I went in there because it was raining, and I can't remember what.
It's just a tea they served you.
Well, this guy took one look at me,
Oh,
and he's like,
he did the
"Man,
look.
and I was buying. I can't remember what I was buying.
Mm.
I don't know
And then
what I
he
was in there.
offered you to
He
buy the
said, "Look
barley.
at just drink this, and I did, and man, I drink it instead of water now. It's like
Yeah,
just this
pretty good.
barley tea, and they've got one that's like super smoky dark barley,
Ooh.
but there's something about this stuff that I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's super. I don't know. It just feels you feel better. I guess it's got tons of antioxidants and whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I tried the wait. There's a food supplement I tried before. It's barley as well, but it's like a juice.
Oh, okay.
Barley juice.
Yeah, they've got the tea is hot and cold, and
Hot
I
and
think they
cold, yeah.
make
Mm.
extracts.
But anyway, barley's really good in your body too,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
Yesterday I was having a terrible, terrible acid reflux.
Oh, that actually barley is good for that as well.
Really, I
Believe it or
also
not. Yeah.
I want to try taking, I mean, juicing the celery and then drink
Ooh,
it in the morning.
is that good for
Celery,
you?
it's good for acid, they say.
Really?
It was terrible because it's my fault anyway. I drink tea without having any food.
Ah.
I don't drink coffee anymore, and probably I need to give up drinking too as well.
Oh, that sucks.
Sucks. My life is
Oh,
over,
no.
basically.
Well, there was
I
this.
couldn't even drink juices,
Oh man.
only water. Today I didn't coffee. That's why I probably like freaking out.
I brought this stuff back from Macau that was
My mom is calling.
it smells really bad. It's these pills, and they were saying, and
You
it's got
gave
like
me
some
like
kind of
an
metal in it.
antacid before,
Probably like
but it made
Tums
me
or something
puke.
like.
Yeah, it made me puke.
Oh, it made you puke. Okay,
Yeah,
that's a bummer.
it's a bummer.
It probably wasn't. Oh man. Well.
Okay, my mom is calling,
Hi, mom.
but yeah.
So yeah, we've got some. I don't think we're going to announce it quite yet, but
Yeah, we
we can.
have something exciting going
We've
on.
got a special guest. We'll have rigged up. Probably, I don't know if we'll be able to do it this week, but before the end of the month, folks, we have somebody that will be surprising, and I can't wait to start talking with him. He's funnier. He's funnier than hell in email. So,
really?
Yeah, he's got a
I've seen
hell of
some
a
few
sense of humor.
messages from
Yeah.
that person.
So anyway, we'll have somebody special. We'll kind of keep you on the in a state of suspense over that one. But
state of suspense.
And also, you should check out the Goldwater in the next couple of days. Our aggregate section is coming up, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Well, we'll definitely be taking advantage of the fact that we are 12 hours off from the United States, so it we'll be back to monitoring the news and giving the quickest, fastest, best possible resources, and a lot of them very, very fast on our aggregate section. So yeah, check that out. That's gonna be awesome. And exciting. There's a comedian that I'm talking to as well.
Comedian?
Yeah. I figured
really?
we need to get a sense of humor back.
Really? Who's this guy?
I'll introduce you guys. I'm just starting to talk to him. We don't have anything firm planned, but he's funny. She's a stand-up comedian.
American?
American. He's a stand-up comedian, and he has his own good, political
there are
beliefs.
Few comedians in America that are Filipino, and I think they're like pretty funny too.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, and that's the question. I mean, I initially started with the idea of I wanted to write an article or ask somebody to write an article about how comedy is dying because of these liberals and NPCs, these social justice warriors who are pointing their fingers at everything that might offend them, and your career is ended if you say the wrong thing. And so it really is a direct threat to comedy, and Jerry
Oh
Seinfeld.
yeah, people don't take comedy or
You
humor
can't be funny
anymore.
anymore.
Yeah, you can't be funny anymore. That was
Um,
hard.
and even liberal comedians like Jerry Seinfeld, he went out and said that he just won't do college campuses anymore.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of comedians have, and even just to say that, to accuse them or to bring out the fact that this is the state of things. People aren't even willing to do that. They're afraid to even do that.
Yeah, they're making the world super boring. We need humor in our lives.
Well, what's happening is you're looking at Amazon and Facebook and Twitter. All of these guys are taking over. Nobody can have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get what's happening in China right now, which is a social credit system. On top of not being able to say what you want, and if you do, you're going to get punished. I mean, to the point where you won't be able to buy certain things, you won't be able to travel if you're offensive, you won't be able to go into a restaurant.
In the Philippines, there's a new law that people can't do gossips anymore.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I thought it's just.
How is that?
My life is over. I can't drink coffee. I can't drink tea. I can't drink juice, wine, and everything, and I can't gossip.
Oh, geez.
My life is over.
Oh, that's depressing. No, that can't be. Not tell me not.
Just push me on the cliff right now.
I'll tell you what, though, that stuff isn't going to work. I mean, you can make all the laws you want, but I think Filipinos, just by nature, aren't going to. I mean, how are you going to enforce that law? That's just so stupid.
I know.
That's just idiotic. I mean,
yeah, but some people liked it, maybe because they are too affected on when people talks about them. But
well,
yeah, I think it's hilarious.
Well, I'm just not a fan of any kind of law being made. Period. I think if you're going to do anything, you should repeal laws. If that's why
just replace the laws that you think it's not really helpful for people.
Yeah, I would say, and Trump has the same thing. He says if you want to make a law, you have to get rid of 3.
What are they?
Any law, if you want to make a new one, you have to find 3 that you need to remove. Personally, I think that ratio should be higher. I think everybody should do a complete audit on every single law and have a competition where the federal government will reward that state a bonus for the number of laws that they repealed. I mean, get them off the books, erase them, condense those books down to everything that matters today. Everything else should always better. I mean, if there was a law that was made way back in the 1800s, as kind of cool.
How about bring back the laws during 1800s? I think those times are like more peaceful.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly some
Let's
interesting
get back
stuff.
the gold standard.
There we go. Yeah, actually, I'm talking about the gold standard as far as
currency.
There's
these people trying to eat gold. Like they're like covering the chicken with gold and they're.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's not edible, right?
Sure, you can eat gold.
Really?
Yeah, it's a super, super thin. It's very little amount
it's
of gold.
thin. Have you seen that?
Yeah, we've used it in our restaurants, restaurants I've worked at.
So it's really
pastry
a thing.
Chefs, yeah, pastry
you
chefs
won't get
use
sick.
it. No,
but it's really gold.
No, it's real gold. It comes in a sheet.
It's a
pretty
sheet.
much any pantry, like a 2-3 star Michelin restaurant, their pantry section will have gold foil.
What?
Yeah. You can use it. It was really popular, like in the late 90s.
It's coming back to life now.
So
golden steak and golden chicken.
Well, that'll do it for us. I think we've got a couple of updates on the story behind the story. We'll be doing that, and then our special guest and article will be. We're probably going to put him on True's show. Which would be a riot. So you can see the story behind the story at 7 p.m. on Fridays Pacific. That's 7 p.m. Pacific on Fridays. You just go to revolution.radio. Also, you might want to check out labvirus.com. That's a really cool place to see. That's Redfoot's area. That's a dozen years or so of research and everything. Some pretty cool stuff in there. We always like plugging him and his stuff. And yeah, exciting stuff coming through. Check out the aggregate section in the next couple of days that we'll be going live with. We're really excited about that. And stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for the
next big.
show.
We've got some big news.
For the big news.
All right, folks.
Really big.
Yeah, and have a wonderful day.
Have a wonderful day.
Godspeed.
Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.